Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Master J. Thank you for tuning back in. I'm happy to be back after the holidays. You know, we haven't made a video since Christmas because I had to spend time. I wanted to spend time with the family, you know, enjoy the time. As a few of you guys know, I live in Germany and a lot of my family still lives in America, so a lot of them came over for Christmas and we had a lovely time together, and yeah, and also spent New Year's together. And I hope you guys had a happy New Year as well and got to spend some time with your families, because you know, every once in a while it's important. Just keep it, don't do it too long, you know, because you know how it is when you spend too much time with your family when you're kind of grown up. But yeah, I hope you guys had a great time and we are back. So we're gonna continue with our part 3 on the Area 52 interview with CJ, the 20-year Army vet that talked about his alien encounter. So or UFO encounter. It's 4 hours long, so that's why we're doing it in parts. And yeah, we're gonna get right back into it. And as I said, I'm happy that you guys are back on my channel in 2026, and let's get it started, guys.
49.27 north, 11.5 east. Expose hidden knowledge to all citizens. Advancement imperative for planetary survival. Beware of Orion 1350.3 and Z Reticuli 39.170. Avoid, and then signal in brackets, messages sent. So that's the first one. There's a lot to unpack even on the first one. So can you tell me what the coordinates would represent here?
So we're going to break down
Sure.
that first one based on the information that I received back from Linda Moulton Howe.
Yeah.
And
If you guys are new here, for the guys that are new, you can go back and watch the other 2 parts so you can keep up to date, so you know exactly what's going on. It would take too long for me to explain exactly where we're at right now. So just, you know, watch the few last minutes of the last video of part 2, and then you will know where we're at.
Dr. Horace Drew, who was able to translate these. And from what I remember, Linda and Dr. Horace Drew found a location for that grid coordinate, and which ended up being in Germany somewhere. I want to, if I remember correctly, it was some location or field near Nuremberg, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
I know Nuremberg.
What
like
was uncovered is
2 to
that
3 hours from where I'm at right now.
in the 1500s or 1400s,
1500s, yeah.
there was a wood carving from an incident that happened there.
A mass sighting. The coordinates 49.27 north and 11.5 east fall inside a historically active region of southern Germany tied to unexplained aerial events, Cold War intelligence, and recurring crop formations. The location sits within the same corridor as the 1561 Nuremberg mass sighting. Now, this mass sighting...
That picture that you just showed, that was in Germany? I thought that was somewhere in like Greece or something. You know? Maybe I need to do more research on the German UFO encounters. I mean, since I'm in Germany, I don't know nothing about it.
That was a mass daylight event witnessed by hundreds of residents of Nuremberg on the morning of April 14th, 1561.
This was crazy. This is a very old painting. I didn't know this was in Germany. Why didn't I know this? Did you guys know? If you did, write in the comments. Maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know.
At dawn, people reported seeing dozens of strange objects in the sky described as spheres, cylinders, crosses, and rod-shaped forms moving
it was some type of
rapidly
war
and appearing to collide as if engaged in aerial battle. Some of the objects were said to fall toward the ground outside the city, after which a large black spear or arrow-shaped object reportedly appeared overhead. The event was reported in a woodcut and pamphlet by Hans Glaser, who framed it as a frightening sign from the heavens.
A mass sighting from a lot of different individuals. Where
isn't it kind of weird that all the major wars happen in Germany? Just putting it out there, guys. Not saying anything, not accusing anyone of anything. Just pointing out something there.
But there was some sort of aerial combat that was taking place. and in this woodcut, you could see that one of these aerial craft were shot down and was smoking on the ground, from what I remember from looking at the image, and that there were like spears and rods and orbs that were, I guess, in some sort of conflict that the people were witnessing, which I found odd. That was in a message that I had written down almost non-coherently in a hotel room bathroom, standing there almost in my birthday suit,
Yeah.
and this just came to me. And so you can imagine what that does to your mind, being told that you wrote something down and it has you don't know what these boxes and lines mean, but somebody's able to decode it, and it's a clear message.
You
And
you
it's
sent that out not knowing anything, like not knowing if it's
no.
binary, not knowing anything whatsoever.
I gave that to her saying, good luck with this.
Yeah. It's probably
This is
gibberish. Good luck.
this is gonna be nothing, and it comes back with
An actual message.
an actual comprehensive message that
That'll
just
scare
it
you.
just threw me back.
How does that did that terrify you? That would scare sorry, pardon my French, it would scare the shit out of me.
It kind of
It would
did,
scare me
and,
too.
if, you reached out to Linda and you talk with her, and, she would identify the conversations that we had over the phone, yeah, it kinda freaked me out a little bit, and she
A
will
little bit.
be honest to say that, yeah, it brought me to tears a few times. It shaken me into my core quite a bit.
How did your wife handle that?
I can't speak for
Mhm.
her. She was supportive, but at the same
Did it
time,
freak her out as well?
it made her seriously think or rethink things in her head. It affected her as well. That what I wrote down in that hotel bathroom was, it's hard to comprehend, or it's difficult to digest the information that's being told to you. To
Mhm.
understand that you had, um, the gibberish that you put down turned out to be something much more profound, and I think that
Get
that's
to the
what was hard
message.
for
I
me
want to
to
know.
digest. But it just gets worse, or it gets better.
Yeah.
However you want to look at things.
It it
Everyone's different.
it progresses.
It progresses, definitely.
So within this first message, we're also given coordinates or what seems like distances between Earth and Orion, and then Earth and Zeta Reticuli, because Zeta Reticuli happens to be 39 point some light years away from
Right.
Earth. Is that something you knew?
No,
Is
I
that,
did not know.
that's
I
not
didn't know what that was. When
Thought it
when they
was a
were
little
talking
closer.
about the 39 point something, I was like, what is that,
Thought it
miles?
was way less.
Because that's not very far. And then they're saying, no, this is more than likely light years. And it was like, light years? How far is a light year? I mean, I don't know what
right?
this is. I mean, I know there's speeds associated with
Mhm.
how fast light travels from point A to point B, um, and in a Earth year. But yeah, I really didn't.
And so, were you ever like, because this is just so wild. Like, to anyone out there listening, like you go from, you know, there's no two ways to interpret this information.
No, there's not.
It's either you choose to accept it or you choose to ignore it. But there's no fitting this into any type of model.
Right,
It
right,
doesn't fit anywhere. You're given clearly a message through some type of code, and that message
Imagine that.
turns out to be this seeming this warning
right,
of beings or at least a star system of Orion and Zeta Reticuli, and then it tells you to avoid the messages sent, or maybe avoid sending messages, or
right. And then looking up the Nuremberg woodcut
that's right.
was also like, for me, it was like, that's part of the warning too, I suppose. I mean, but what's happening in this woodcut? What's going on? What's transpiring?
War.
Yeah, we can
So
almost assume, like, because you said there was like a recovery or something on that woodcut, right? There's like smoke plume and there's something on the ground. Do you think that's what they're referring to when they say expose hidden knowledge to all citizens, and with that coordinate?
I don't want to interpret what someone else thinks
Sure.
or comes to the conclusion of. But I take it as a warning. I perceive it as a warning. Others may perceive it in a different light, but that to me is just, it's a little bit shocking. Also going back to the Zeta Reticuli and what was the other one?
Orion.
Orion. When I looked up the light years, it wasn't with a point. When I looked it up, it just said it's roughly, what is it, 39 point something?
Yeah, 39.17.
When you look it up, it just says 39. Well, what is the point seven? What does that mean? Why is there a point and a seven? Like, what is that near the star, but not on the star? I mean, like, that's what was throwing me off a little bit. It was like,
You're giving exact.
what is exactly at that
Probably their planet.
point? You know what I mean?
I would assume, right?
Okay. Now, once we grab
the planet, how far it's away from the sun.
Let's say subtext of this code, you're able to grab different letters from here and there that are all capitalized, let's say, and put them together. And this is part of that code system that allows you to do that. When you do that on this first transmission, you get check all AI.
Check all AI.
Damn.
Now, 2015,
we didn't have AI.
It wasn't really a thing.
Nobody was even talking about it, really.
Maybe in a sci-fi book or something, or we had thought of the concept of AI, but we had not. There was no public,
the fears that we already have.
Use of AI by any means.
Right.
Oh boy. Terminator is
I find that to be quite alarming.
Absolutely.
Kinda, yeah.
And
me too.
What would be the benefit to expose hidden knowledge? To,
I guess, get us all in the same playing field.
Before we advance it too far.
That's what I would assume. I've really been thinking about a lot because it just stood out to me. And so I started thinking about it. It was like, well, if we're keeping it under wraps, we're keeping it under dark projects or groups that keep it really under wraps. What are they benefiting from it other than, technology, military technology kind of stuff?
Yeah.
We want to be able to defend ourselves against adversaries, right? So when you have these dark projects, I'm just going off my own opinion here. Nothing per se. But when you have these dark projects and they're working to reverse engineer or use the information to better military advancements, where we're able to have the upper hand per se in conflicts with our neighbors. We want to be able to have the technology to be able to defend ourselves. I mean, of course, that's what just about every.
I think we're going too far there. I mean, now what day is it today? It's the 20th of January 2026. I think we have closer neighbors that we're fighting with right now, aka Greenland, the whole situation, which is kind of messed up. I think we got to focus on stuff like that. We have to get our own affairs in order before we even think that far out, The
country does, do they not? I believe. So when I think about that message and I think about how far have we come with these things happening behind closed doors and limited amount of eyes looking at them and scientists looking at them, we're not going to progress as fast that way. We're not going to be able to evolve with the right speed that we need to be evolving at. So maybe I interpret that as maybe these shouldn't be dark projects. Maybe they should be a little bit more open. And no, you can't
As if they would ever
discuss weapons to the public. You don't want to do that because you don't want people going haywire with all the information and creating all kinds of chaos for everybody. So yeah, some things definitely need to be under wraps. However, a lot of things could be open. Maybe our universities and colleges can start programs in education to, better ourselves, where we have more students studying this type of stuff, and have it in a more open environment where it's not so shadowed. Advance us in our transportation systems, advance us in energy, advance us in lots of different things that we could use this technology for. And so maybe that's what I believe that's indicating. Of course, we don't want to.
Open source it.
We don't want a random civilian just building bombs and stuff out of
or any hostile
adversary
adversary for that matter.
Or hostiles. Yeah.
We already are.
Okay. Great point. And yes, I do think that obviously, and it says here, advancement imperative for planetary survival, which I think is an interesting choice of words. It's not human survival. It's not alien survival. It's planetary survival, which scares me a little bit because I think, I always think that, okay, we eradicate ourselves, the planet will be just fine. In fact, it'll probably be better off, eventually. Yeah. Right. But planetary survival is interesting.
Absolutely. And I believe that goes back to, nuclear weapons.
That's right.
Yeah, that means we're about to blow our shit up.
We've done some very destructive things.
I agree.
To ourselves and to our planet. We don't take into consideration the environment, and the impacts that it would have on our environment. And so I do believe that we need to be a little bit more cautious when we're developing things, and consider our ecosystem and
our drive is too big
because we're not the only ones here.
Try to advance.
Yep. And that is echoing exactly what every experiencer has ever been told by their abductors. Right. This is not uncommon that they also, clearly believe it's imperative that we take care of this place for whatever reason, for our survival, for theirs, for just a mutual benefit.
Right. And could this have a double meaning?
That's right.
Could this mean that we're getting out of hand and we might find ourselves threatened by a foreign entity, a foreign adversary, that's not from our planet. So
that's the only thing that could unite us all.
It could have several different meanings behind it.
That's the only thing I believe
all
that
citizens
could really
as well.
unite
everyone.
Human being. Yeah. A threat from outside of this planet.
Okay, so this is the first. Already, we're seeing the technical sort of advanced version of this binary come into play here as multiple codes. This is like some Da Vinci Code stuff. This is like a puzzle. It's insane.
And you love puzzles.
I love this is absolutely a puzzle. This is my favorite puzzle ever.
Right.
Now we get into the second message. Now, let me pull this up here. I'm gonna get back here to where I was. The second message, October. This is October to January 2016. Now, there are multiple messages here that combine to make this.
Right.
And I'm just going to go ahead and read the first message, not the decoded versions, because there are, again, sub-messages within the messages.
Right.
This is where, oh, by the way, before I actually get to this, Dr. Drew pointed out something really, really fascinating with the crop circles.
Oh, yes.
Right. So, and this relates mostly to that first message. If we look at specifically, there is a crop circle. There are a few crop circles, but there was the well-known Arecibo reply. So in 2001, a crop formation appeared inside the Chilbolton Observatory that many believe mirrors a reply to the 1974 Arecibo radio message.
I remember that
The
too.
symbolic signal designed by Frank Drake with help of Carl Sagan and Linda Saltzman-Sagan.
Wasn't it like a different
Arecibo
alien
Observatory.
message? Yeah,
that
we
original
sent this one.
Signal described basic human biology, DNA, and our location in the solar system. And the Chilbolton formation appeared to mimic the same digital structure, but obviously with some key differences, including biology and where they were located in their star system.
That's crazy.
1 year later in 2002, another unsettling formation appeared at Crabwood, showing the face of what many described as a gray alien beside a disk of spiral binary, revealing
that
the
looks
warning,
scary.
Beware the bearers of false gifts and their broken promises. Much pain, but still time. Believe there is good out there. We oppose deception. Conduit closing.
Oh.
Then in 2015, a massive binary-style formation appeared again near Turin, echoing the same warning-style layout and reinforcing the pattern people had already noticed, along with the Latin phrase, timeo et ferentes. I fear those who bear gifts. So in 2002, there's this message that pops up with this beautiful work of art of what seems to be like a gray alien.
3 dimensions.
Yeah, and it has a pupil,
Right.
which normally you don't see. And we'll get to that in a second.
Right.
Yeah, that's
right.
crazy. That's
which I found
scary,
very
man.
interesting. You then have this massive
smile.
circle that has all these dots that seems to be some type of encoded message. And then you have these 3 sort of lights that kind of represent Orion's belt, which, again, for many reasons, very fascinating. And the message translates to beware the bearers of false gifts and their broken promises. And it shows the Orion constellation, and it shows these sort of grays or whatever. And now we have your message, which says, beware of Orion. Now, there's 2 things here that say beware, and they're both picturing Orion. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that's...
Is that a hostile
That's what's
group of aliens that come
so
from there, or what?
confusing for me is there's so many
That's
similarities with
confusing
so
and
many
scary.
different things that they require more in-depth look.
Yeah.
And so that's where I get intrigued is how so many different things line up with others. It really throws you back.
It lines up with what Bob Lazar was talking about too, with, when he was briefed in those documents, it said that the craft and the beings, the kids, as he refers to them as, were from Zeta Reticuli.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and then obviously Zeta Reticuli pops up the first time we ever hear about it. Not the first time we hear about it, but the first time we see a diagram was from Betty and Barney Hill.
Okay.
Was Betty Hill was shown this diagram of like this star map, and she drew it, and then it was lined up years later once we discovered this binary star system, that it kind of matched Zeta.
Yeah, she
the Zeta
knew the star
constellation
system
kind of
before
perfectly.
we,
So there's something
species
really
kinda
important about
discovered it.
that. I don't know what it is.
That's why it's a
but,
crazy story.
Clearly, it seems like we're warned about it.
Right.
All right, this brings us to our next message, and I'm sorry I'm droning.
I just want the American government to come out and finally tell us that there's aliens out there. I mean, we all know it, but I want to know. I want them to tell us why they tweaking. They need to just come out and tell us. So annoying, man.
On here, but I really want to drive it home to the viewers. There's a lot of information here.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I'm sorry if I'm taking up a lot of the airspace, guys. I'm just kind of running you through this.
I could talk for hours.
Yeah, this is endlessly fascinating to me.
Right.
So the next message here reads as follows: imminent threat soon upon Earth's leaders and civilizations. Right. There's a bit of a
Deviation there.
Yeah, deviation. We can assume it's civilizations. Expose and disband hidden knowledge to all citizens. Once again, employ safe and controlled joint study to all minds. Progression imperative for combined survival.
Say hi.
So in this particular text, one word that stands out to me right up top is the word imminent. Now, where have we heard that before?
Right.
Lou Elizondo's.
Lou Elizondo, yes.
Do you think that title is a reference to this in some way?
I'm unsure. I mean, it's one word. I'm sure it's been used many times by others. I don't know if it came to him.
Do you think Lou was aware of this?
I'm not sure if he was. That I don't know. I worked with Linda pretty exclusively for quite a while. So, I mean, there's a possibility that he may have known about it or he may not have. I really don't. Really don't know. I mean, it's just one word.
True.
But it's impactful. That's another similarity. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit curious, but one's only to assume.
Yeah, and then again, expose and disband hidden knowledge to all citizens. Again, all citizens. expose hidden knowledge. And this time they put disband in there as well.
Expose, disband.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when I think about that, I have a military mind, and we don't want to put out weapon systems to all citizens, because we don't want all civilians building weapon systems in their garages and creating chaos. And there's many incidents where somebody's mind just snaps and they want to shoot up a mall or school or something. So yeah, I believe there needs to be some restraint on some things. So yeah, I think that falls into the category of disband, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
You don't want to expose all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But what can be beneficial for us is transportation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Other things
From Germany to America in 2 seconds. That would be nice.
Employ safe and controlled. Joint study to all minds.
Once again, safe and controlled.
Teleport like Goku.
That makes sense to me.
Progression imperative for combined survival. What do you think they mean by that?
So in my mind, when I think of combined survival, is maybe we're not the only country that has black projects and study things. I'm sure there's
every modern country
there's
has
a race,
probably even non-modern,
involving behind this. That's kind of in the shadows,
like a nuclear race type deal or a technological race?
Just like a race to the moon,
right?
A race for nuclear weapons, a race for, I'm sure there's a race going on in the background, to develop these systems and be able to travel quicker, faster, and get from point A to point B quicker, more effectively. So I'm sure there's.
Do you guys think that we already have technology like that? What is your opinion on this? I want to know. I believe that specifically America is hiding a lot of the technology that they already have access to. And yeah, I just wish they would share it with everyone. But who knows? Who knows when that will happen?
I'm pretty sure there's some background
all
stuff going on that other countries are doing as well. And so maybe I think that's a reference to maybe some of these things should be brought to light.
Is that an educated guess?
Just an educated guess. That's just my military minds of thinking.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, we have United Nations for a reason, why not? Why not all of us come together and start sharing some information for some of these things? Not all of these things, but for some of these things.
Yeah, trash and nukes too, while we're at it.
Let's get rid of those things.
America wants to stay in power. That's why they wouldn't share how they're
we all agreed we're not going to use them.
We can't use them. I mean, it was a why have them.
Exactly.
Let's get rid of them all and let's focus on other things.
Here. 100,000 likes in this video and we'll get rid of the nukes.
Absolutely. No nukes, no nukes.
No more nukes. I think we can all agree. I think I'm on board with that one. That's something, you need to be left, right. You can be wherever you want. Let's get rid of those things, man. Those things are trash. Yeah. Okay. Now we get into, in this paragraph, there are some things that stand out. And the first one that stands out to me is the word Eisenhower. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
What do you know about Eisenhower?
I know very little about it. It was before my time, so
yeah.
I don't know much.
I know
Eisenhower
he was a military man
prior to becoming a president.
Area 51? Wasn't that him?
That's about as much knowledge.
I think that was Eisenhower.
And then under that, there's Majestic. What do you know about that?
Majestic 12.
I googled that. There's I guess there's some other things going on with, I believe it was like Majestic 12 or something. There was some sort of secret government program. I don't know anything about that. I'm sure it probably does exist. Who knows? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's something somebody thought up.
Yeah.
But I have no knowledge.
So when you got that information back from Dr. Drew, did he fill you in on what Majestic was, or did you take it upon yourself to I'm going to Google this and figure it out?
He brought it up to me and kind of gave me a rundown of what it entails. And then I did a Google search after and try to get some of my own information and my own interpretations, but I can't speak upon that because I don't know much about it besides what I've read, through social media and Google, things like that, and what I've learned from others. So I'm not really familiar with that stuff.
It is interesting that in the first part where it says imminent threat soon upon Earth's leaders and civilizations expose and dismantle hidden knowledge to all citizens, in that you find the word Eisenhower.
Wow.
In
Okay,
those
yeah.
two lines, right?
Yeah.
So we have like a specific reason Eisenhower was brought up with these two first lines: the imminent threat, the leaders of civilizations, obviously, and then hidden knowledge. Expose all hidden knowledge to maybe some message for Eisenhower, or to let you know that, hey, he has the answer. Like, he was given this information.
Right. Like maybe he was part of Majestic 12.
Well, that's
or set
19,
it up,
yeah, 1954, 52, or 50, I think 52, maybe 54, but I think 52. There is a document that came out, the Eisenhower briefing,
Right.
which allegedly he was briefed by, I think, was it General Twining or might have been Forrestal, that basically briefed him about crash that had happened in Roswell and multiple others, and kind of told him we need to band together and create some type of group that can disseminate this information to the public and then can control, what we found. And so they've got together 12 of like the most powerful minds in, various sectors, from sciences to biology and everything in between, politics and whatnot, and formed this Majestic 12, so to speak. And even we see, the Majestic verbiage, or at least abbreviation, still being used in 1989 by Bob Lazar on his patch, where it said, Majestic Clearance, or MAJ. And so then on the second part, we have employ safe and controlled joint study to all minds progression imperative. And there we have the word majestic.
Right.
And then that's a little bit later, I think, or is that here? No, ILI, which could be 52. And that 52 was like the DC flyover, and if you look at even the, are you familiar with Beatrice Villarroel?
Nope.
That name doesn't ring a bell.
So she, brilliant astronomer. She basically had a peer-reviewed paper recently showing these transient lights that appeared on these plates that date back to 1952.
Okay.
And when comparing them with today's skies, those lights aren't there. And so, and then they found out this happens like in the Earth's shadow or whatever, like basically proving that there are these, without a shadow of a doubt, there are reflective objects prior to us having satellites in space that were there.
Oh, wow.
And we have proof
I
of
didn't hear
that.
about
She
that.
just put out this peer-reviewed
That's new to
paper,
me.
which is incredible and pretty much disclosure, in my opinion. But what I found interesting is that during the flyover, the exact day of the flyover, you have these transients in the sky there as well. So
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, another fun connection. Okay.
Lots of connections.
Dude, this is blowing my mind right now.
Yeah, and going back to the 12.
Yep.
It's so wild to think about that the government behind closed doors have 12 individuals deciding things for us that we have no oversight of. That's pretty scary too when I think about it.
Yeah.
That number's probably grown.
Yeah, it's probably not 12 anymore.
No, probably close to 27.
No oversight, making decisions for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping that they make
Why did he just say 27 like that?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
if
They
he knew
make
it.
good decisions for us.
That wasn't just a random guess.
Yeah.
He knew something.
I don't know. We didn't elect them.
Tell us.
Exactly. We didn't elect them. Okay. We get to the next message here, and we're going to pace ourselves through these, if that's fine.
Absolutely.
Embrace this. And then it says space in parentheses. And I don't know if that's just a liberty from Dr. Drew, but embrace this vessel threat. 000 journey, and then in brackets 12, and then LYs in light years. Ike's embedded citizens are ready. Ike being another reference to Eisenhower.
Right.
And his embedded citizens are ready. We'll get to that. And then disclose, evolve, and then a bunch of ones. One. What do you make of that message?
Most of it's pretty baffling to me. It could be interpreted in several different ways. I mean, you got to keep in mind that this is what I'm writing when I wake up. So I'm not fully coherent being waking up to this and writing it down. So it is still throwing me back that, I'm half awake and writing these things down, and they're making, they have meaning behind them. And so I'm still, it's a lot to digest, for one person to digest a bit. So, I mean, I look at things and I have to do it in small sections.
Yeah.
And really think about things in small sections to really have a thought on it. And some of it is just, it's just kind of out of my realm, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
So some of this is, I don't know what the meaning it is behind it. I just kind of take it as it is.
That's so wild, man.
Yeah.
It'd be one thing if I was sitting here with somebody who's like, on Discord all day talking about aliens.
For real,
and
this guy's a 20-year vet.
Doing research like me or something. But you're none of that. You're not readily involved in any of that, are you?
No. I relatively live a pretty private life.
Yeah.
I do play a phone game, and I do have a Discord associated with that phone game.
Yeah.
But my Discord that I'm on are roughly about my King's Throne Alliance.
Yeah, Clash of Clans or whatever it is. Yeah.
It's my the alliance that I'm part of, and we discuss game stuff. I mean,
you're not talking about aliens with anybody.
Not really. I mean, no, it's not a common conversation piece. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We share things and vacations and things that we go on. People buy a new car, new truck, and they discuss things like that. But generally, we discuss things within our little group and what we're doing on the game and how to improve and beat the other alliance. And
you're not a UFO researcher, is what I'm asking.
No.
Okay.
No.
That's that's something that needs to be made clear here. You're not a UFO. You've maybe become somewhat of a researcher because I think anyone would
over time. Yes. And over, after this, then yes, I start to watch some more videos and try to get some clarity and understanding with what's happening with me, and look for people who have gone through some similar thing to help me identify myself with other people out there, because you kind of feel alone and in the dark. You feel very singled out. I guess in my mind frame, I feel very singled out. I feel alone, but I know I'm, just after a little bit of research that there other people have gone through some similar things, and that provides a little bit comfort, for me to deal with. But in the beginning, Linda will tell you it's a little bit scary. I felt a little scared, in the beginning part. And it takes a lot. It takes a lot of courage for me to say that, because I'm not afraid of anything. I don't care how big the guy is. I'll take him on. I don't care. I might get my butt whipped, but he's going to feel me the next day. I mean, I'm just that type of person. But when it comes to things like this, where things you don't have any control over, that's what brings out my fear a little bit.
Yeah, something else is kind of in control a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
It's unsettling. Okay. I mean, it's all pretty self-evident here. Embrace this vessel threat. I don't know what that means. Journey 12 light years. Your guess is as good as mine. Might be something 12 light years away. Something's on its way.
When I think of this as there may be some other vessel out there that's monitoring us. And
12 years. When was this? 2015, right?
When it describes threat, you know,
Oh shit, that would be
that tells me
2027 then
that
in 12 years if there's a vessel
we
on
could
its
be
way.
threatened, or we could have a threat,
Oh
at some
damn.
point.
2027
When I
is the
think about
day,
that, it
guys. Is the
also
year.
brings back
Uh-oh.
some thought that we need to evolve quicker. I mean, why do we need to advance and evolve quicker?
To
Is it
fight
because
off the
there's a
alien
threat?
threat. Probably.
Um,
Shit.
yeah, there's a lot to wrap your brain around.
Yeah, I mean, there's the word threat there.
There's
I mean,
there's definitely a word threat.
It's not no avoiding that. And Ike's embedded citizens already. I don't even know what to do with that. Are we talking about hybrids here? Are we talking about some type of genetically altered beings that live among us that he agreed to? Like, I mean, you can extrapolate so much from that.
Absolutely.
And then in red and blue, you have
Yeah.
Madge 12 and then CIA. And the CIA, happens to be
Probably
in the
they are the ones that know.
Ike's
CIA,
embedded citizens
Majestic
already.
12.
And that's where
So that's maybe where the government maybe have created some sort of group or organization around that time, and maybe the CIA was involved in it.
Yep, probably.
I mean, we
That's what
don't
I
know.
think.
I mean, the FBI, CIA could have been involved in it in the beginning, and then it morphed into something different.
Yeah.
Which ended up being Majestic 12 or a whole different other, shadowed group.
All right. And finally, for this bit of transmission, because there are many more.
There are several.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
We'll get into a few of them.
Right.
But right now, to end this one, it says Royal Emerther warning, Emerther in capital.
Friendly Grace.
Expose foreign technology to all evolutionary advancement needed to prevent takeover.
I always heard they weren't friendly.
Expose foreign technology to all evolutionary advancement needed to prevent takeover.
Right.
I mean, okay, first of all, Emerthers seem to be the race here that we're dealing with. Royal Emerther warning, right?
Emerther is confusing me because I've never heard of this before, and I had to do a lot of Google researching to see what I can come up with what Emerther means. And the only thing that I was able to find out, and this was with the help of Linda, was like at some point.
Keep in mind, he wrote this stuff down, and he has no idea what he wrote down himself. So that's kind of crazy. You guys have to let me know if you believe his story so far or not. I would very much like to know what you guys think. I had one guy commenting on the last video. He said that he thinks this is a bunch of bollocks. He doesn't believe him. But I kind of do. I mean, what does he have to gain from the story, So let me know, guys. I would be very interested.
Point in our past, we had met with some sort of an Emerther, some sort of alien species that referred to themselves as Emerther. What royal means, I'm not sure, because if they're an advanced alien species, I think the times of royalness would have been way in the past. Like they've advanced way beyond that. I mean, we still have royal families, that are living on different countries and such. So I mean, yeah, we still have those aspects of things.
You think that would be done away with?
You think that would be gone, but
but also
this perceives, or maybe
maybe they mean
the royal was like,
maybe they mean as a species they're royal compared to us, Maybe that's what they mean.
Some sort of symbology or meaning that it should be taken more seriously. Like maybe this is a metaphor for something more serious.
Yeah,
to taking like higher ups within the
royally important
of importance. Of this particular species.
Yeah.
Group.
Yeah.
Or how they determine things, or maybe leaders. Within their
yeah, maybe it's just how they refer to
species. Yeah.
But we do still use the term majestic, which is very close to royalty. Her Majesty.
Right.
And so that's still.
I think there's a lot of symbology.
There is
a lot
some
of that,
type of like tie-in to this. Yeah, and then so I mean that is very enigmatic to say the least. Now I'd like to get into we're gonna segue. Yeah, from this little ditty here and all of these incredible messages that were deciphered that, you know, you had simply doodled on a paper, followed by WTF. And then they got deciphered into this incredible message here that, you know, if it has any significance, is extremely concerning, if not just for a wake-up call, but can be, you know, I mean, it said, the last paragraph says evolutionary advancement needed to prevent takeover.
Right.
What are we talking about here? What's your sense on that?
Yeah, that would be a little scary to me, because
Yeah, kind of.
we'd like to live our lives comfortably and go to work, come home, spend time with our family. So anything that involves any kind of takeover, that's a warning to me. I take that as a warning, some type of way. And
We should.
yeah, I don't want to be taken over. I don't think anyone would want to be taken over.
It
So
depends.
yeah,
We don't know how cool they may be. You never know what you're going to get in return. But takeover does sound hostile. So, but maybe, who knows what happens in the future? Who knows if we might need to be taken over before the higher ups blow each other up, you know? I mean, you and me, we don't have much say in what's going on in this world. But yeah, the presidents and from the different countries, they do. And they cause wars. So it doesn't necessarily have to be negative.
I perceive that as a warning in some fashion.
And that we're kind of working with them is what I get from this too. Like that, at least one group here that seems to be like, hey, we need your help.
Right.
Because otherwise, why even tell us about it, right? They're probably trying to recruit us for something, or be like, hey, wake up. We need to like come together and like, we need you guys to hurry up and evolve.
Absolutely.
So you can help us out with this imminent.
Maybe it's like in that movie. I forgot the name of that movie about the future wars, where future people came back in the past and told the citizens there that they need their help to fight a specific enemy. I forgot the name of that movie, but that was pretty cool. And that kind of sounds like this too.
Threat soon upon Earth's leaders and civilizations.
Right. So, you know, I consider myself a deep thinker. I look at things from many different angles. And when I do that and I look at history, there's a lot of indications. There's a lot of indications that this has been going on for thousands and thousands of years. I mean, I believe it was going on with the Egyptians, ancient Egypt.
I knew he was.
I believe it was going on in Easter Island. I believe it's been going on in Peru. And there's several different locations all across our planet that point out and indicate some advanced technology, some advanced proof that they've been associated with us throughout time. So I do believe that not only do we have several different species that have been interacting with us throughout all of history, I also believe that as some of these cases, some of these things that have been happening could be, in fact, future versions of ourselves visiting ourselves. Yeah.
Stop it right there. What did I just say about that movie? That same movie. It's the future human beings that came back and recruited humans in the past to fight in the future for our survival. That he probably has the same thoughts as me right there. Anyways, we'll stop it right here for now, and we will continue on the next part. You know, my baby just went to bed. My wife is probably hungry, and I'm gonna go make some fried cassava and some nice smash burgers. So yeah, I better get back to it, because happy wife, happy life. You guys know how it is. Thank you for watching again, and I can't wait to see you next part. Deuces.